My younger self, what's your story?
To my younger self, what's your story?
To my younger self.
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 To my younger self, what's your story? To my younger self, what's your story?
Well, hello and good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? It is wonderful to see you. My name is Zoe Baraka. The show is To My Younger Self. We tell stories from our personal past that propels us into the future. Of course, there's a saying, if you don't know your past, you most likely don't know where you are right now, and you don't know where you're going. So this is really the aim of To My Younger Self, where we ask guests from all over Africa to tell their personal stories, and we're flooding the stratosphere with personal African stories, no matter the genre. We have come to find that telling stories is very cathartic for humanity, period, right? Today, I am in a very somber mode. If you join us, please say hello in your local dialect to us. Wherever you are in Africa, we want to hear from you. We are in Nigeria today. Fingers crossed, the internet will be doing wonders for us. So yes, keep praying with us. We know it's really early in these parts of the world. And so for those of you on your way to work, we wish you well. And just jump on for a brief moment. We know you'll come back and watch it, but jump on for a brief moment. Say something to us in your local dialect. I hope you're praying for Morocco. I hope you're praying for Libya. I hope you're praying for all of the other countries in Africa that are going through a little bit of turbulence, either economically or by natural disaster, or that something is happening. But most especially this week, all of our hearts, all of our prayers goes out to the people of Morocco. Let's just do some greetings from all across Africa. Baraka da zuwa to you, Sanunku da zuwa yaya de kakwana lafia. I really hope you are doing well, and that you slept well, and that you dreamt well. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook, you are welcome. Just go into the comments section, say something to us in your local dialect, and then of course, please just share the link. Tell your friends and your family, your loved ones, something incredible is happening on To My Younger Self, and you want them to be a part of the goodness. Ya ken tuma fuduwela tuma awela tipose wanambarka. It is wonderful to see you. I just greeted you in my father tongue, Kasal. Ansuma to you if you speak Wale or Dagbani. It is wonderful to see you. Indinawa to you, Weza Leke. How are you doing? Do you speak Ewe? I just right now greeted you. I am so thankful that you are here. And to send to you, Akwaba Wuntidanya Mawachin. How are you doing? I just greeted you in different variations of Akan, which is one of the predominant languages in Ghana. Salbonani to you if you speak Zulu. Ibella to you, Ibiokibari to you if you speak Moshi. I greet you. Te Oyo Tang, Ojeko to you if you speak Ga. Lalit to you if you speak Chadian Arabic. How do I say Ekaro to you, or Ekabo if you speak Yoruba? It is so wonderful to see you, our Nigerian friends. We are looking forward for you to show up and show out for Chika today, because we are in Nigeria. Salam alaikum to you if you speak Arabic. Of course, Nagadef if you speak Wolof. Jambo habari gani, habari ya Osuboy to you. I hear that I say this so well. Most people think I am Kenyan, and I claim it so proudly. Kutong to you. Amohelang to you if you speak Sesotho. Nyase Aloy Damilaki. greeting you in my mother tongue, Bisa. How are you doing? Kotoli to you, to our Fofoli friends. Those of you who are Fulani, if you speak Fofoli, we are greeting you. Of course, bom dia to our African Portuguese friends. Bonjour to our African French friends. Ooh, that sounded like a, a tongue twister there. But all of our Francophone African people, we greet you. Bonjour, no, of course, buenos dias, Imaraba. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. I'm very excited. You know, I am a very lucky person because every week I get to be extremely excited about the guest I'm about to introduce to you. Africa is so laden with incredible talent and gift, and Chika is one of those people. Let's see who is in the room before we introduce you to Chika. It is us. We're saying bonjour à tous. Comment allez-vous? Hello, everyone. How are you doing? This is us, to my younger self. We're greeting you in all kinds of languages right now. It is wonderful, wonderful to see you again. If you join us, and I see some people here, please just say hello to us. I know most of you are probably driving, but try to say hello to us. Let us know where you are watching us from. Let's introduce you to Mr. Chika Dibia Ize. I hope I said that right. Serves as the worship and missions pastor with Insight Bible Church, located in Akwa Ibom State in the south of Nigeria. And he's been doing this since April 2013. My goodness, that's 10 years. That tells you that he is indeed a very committed person. He's born as the seventh sibling of 7 children in the family of Elder Eze O Eze. Oh my God, I could get into that name, and that name alone could give us so many stories. He holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in French language. My goodness, he speaks perfect French then, from the Imo State University. He was born in the city of Abia State, eastern part of Nigeria. He spent his childhood and early teenage years with his grandma in Port Harcourt city of River State, south of Nigeria. He is married to Chidinma Charity Ize since October 11th, 2014. Their marriage is blessed with 2 wonderful sons, King David and Declan. I really like that first name, King David. That's a good name to give to a child, you know, and Declan too, but mostly King David. His desire and motivation is to see people embrace Christ through a life of worship. Now, you know there's stories there, right? Anybody who enjoys worship would have stories for days. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, could you please help me welcome? He is ever smiling, like he's always smiling, and he's smiling right now. I can see him in the green room. Please, please unhook yourself and please help me welcome the absolutely incredible Chika Ize. Chika, how are you? It is wonderful to see you. You hear me?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's my pleasure to be here, and I'm so excited. You pronounce those names so well. Seriously,
Hey, good for the
you did.
African.
Yes, you did proper justice to those names. I'm
Oh,
really excited. That's
thank you.
wonderful. Uh,
My brother, you are
uh,
welcome. Oh my God, the lead
well,
of another incredible music group, 2911, Brendan Adams. He's normally so busy. Brendan, thank you so much for joining us. Listen, worshipers are here today, so let's jump in. So,
wow.
Tika, I have the best job in the world. My work is done, and you run the show. This is
Okay.
your show right now. You're going to tell us some stories. I'm going to sit back and just kind of listen to you. So, take us away. This is you.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm so glad to be here. Everybody, hi, and you're welcome to the beautiful show to my younger self. And I'll start by saying, when it comes to what I do, like you like to mention, Zoe, that what I do shows and points to the fact that I have a lot of story to tell. And for me, that's amazing. And some of them are exciting, some of them are adventurous, and a few others are kind of how will I put it? They're kind of sad. And in all these stories put together are the things that have brought me to where I am today.
Mm.
Yeah, the things that have brought me to where I am today. And so I'm going to start I'm going to start by pointing to the fact that my story begins with my grandma.
Yeah,
And
I
I,
love grandma stories. They are the best.
yes, yes. My story begins with my grandma. My grandma was such an amazing person. Looking back in retrospect, and I'm like, wow, this woman was amazing. I didn't see it that way then. I know I did it, but right now I'm like, wow, I was privileged to live with her because when I was born, things weren't so rosy with my parents. My father lost his job. He was a manager with the CFAO, the French car company, in the eastern part of Nigeria, in the city of Enugu. But he lost his job. That was kind of the depression that hit, the financial depression that hit Nigeria in the 80s, and he lost his job, and it really affected, it really affected the family. So um, there was no food in the house sometimes for days, and my family was broke. That's just the word. And
Word.
there's
Broke.
something, yeah, that's just the word. There's something we do here in Nigeria, and it all began in the Igbo culture. They call it omugo. Now, what is omugo? Omugo is when a woman gives birth, and her mom will come to stay with her for a while, a month, 2 months, but basically the duration is like 3 months. The
Hmm.
mom will live with her to help her take care of the child.
Hmm.
And during that period, my grandmom saw that things weren't so rosy in the family, and she knew if I was left with my mom, they wouldn't be able to take care of it because there was already 6 children there. 6 kids were already living in the house, and they were all little. So during she stayed for the mogo, and towards the ending of her time being in the house, she sent my mom out. My mom went to get something, and my grandmom carried and traveled back to where she was
Hey,
staying.
wow.
Yeah,
You know, oh my God. What did your, I
yes,
have so many questions, but finish your story. That's crazy. Wow.
yeah. So the whole thing is this: my grandmom dropped a note to let my mom know your child is not missing. If I
Mm.
had asked you to give me this child, you wouldn't. So I'm taking this child by force. Take care of the ones you have there. This child will survive with me.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So that happened. So growing up in the city of Port Harcourt, I got to know my grandmom as my mom
Mom.
before um, before as in I came of age about 8, 9, 10 years. I started visiting my parents in the city of Aba. I visited them in Omaha because my grandmother had to take me back. I was like, this is your mom. I'm your grandmother. And
Oh my
she was
God.
a seriously. So and my grandmom, when I hear stories of people say how loving their grandmothers are, as in she'll buy me gifts and all that. I'm like, are you serious? You had such a lovely grandmother? Nah, mine wasn't that kind.
Oh my God. I was not expecting
No,
that though. Really. The story is
no, my
about to get.
grandmother was
Wow.
my grandmother wasn't that kind. No, she was not that kind. Under no circumstance she that kind. But
Mm.
she was amazing. Um, what I know now compared to what I knew then, I tell myself the truth. She trained me with the best tools she had at her disposal at that time.
Wow.
Um, everybody who grew up in Africa, in any African home, and would say that we didn't understand what how like trauma. We didn't have a way to cope with trauma, and parents would pass over their trauma to their children, and
Mm.
unknowingly because they didn't know better. But
Yes.
um, as the years has moved on, as things has passed, we get to know, oh, this exactly was what trauma was all about. And we passed it to our children and all that. So I had a lot of traumas, but right now in retrospect, I look at it, I'm like, I survived, thank God. And they made me
And it's
stronger.
not that much trauma when you think about it. Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So this brings me to one of the stories I prepared I was going to tell today. I remember um, in the city of Port Harcourt. I think I was about 11, 10, 11, right
Mm.
about there. And we, we were using kerosene stove, the kerosene stove to cook. And there was a
Yes.
scarcity of kerosene. Yeah. So there was a scarcity of kerosene. And my grandma gave me a 20-liter jerry can to go and buy kerosene. Now I got to the filling station. The fuel station is called Ajib Fuel Station, Agri Road in Port Harcourt. I got there, the queue was long, and people had this where you stay in the queue for hours, and someone will come and scatter the line. Everybody will
Yeah.
want to get their jerrycan back,
Oh my.
and by the time you know, maybe you were in front, now you're behind. All that thing, and in the whole chaos, I lost my jerrycan.
Hey.
So okay, you're getting the point. So I lost my jerrycan, and I went home. I ran home to tell her, Ma, this is what happened. I lost my jerry can in the process of all that. And she was
Wow.
looking at me like, she was like, are you serious? You lost your jerry can. And she was like, okay, come in, come in. I did not know there was a long cane
Oh.
behind the door. As I came into the house, she landed it on me. By the time she gave me the first, the second, and the third whip, I jumped out and ran back to that filling station. Got there, there was still queue. I was then looking for the jerry can because I know me going home this night without the jerry can and kerosene is a death sentence. So
You don't know whether to laugh or cry. It's a funny story, but it's not.
I understand. I understand your emotions right now. So I got there, searched and searched. I couldn't find it because I marked mine. I gave it a mark, but I couldn't find it.
Oh
So
my.
something then happened. The jerry cans, there were two jerry cans at the point of dispensing the kerosene, and the lady that was dispensing the kerosene came and shouted, "Who gets this kerosene, this jerry can? Who be the person who get this jerry can?" As I looked, nobody was answering. I lifted up my hands and I told her, "I'm the owner, I'm the owner."
Oh my God. Yeah.
I told her, "I am the owner." And I ran and told her, "Fill the two jerry cans," because I had enough money to pay for the two jerry cans. So I filled both of them, gave her the money, carried the jerry cans that were not mine, and went home. So
Whoa.
when I got home, so, so when I got home, my grandmother looked at me and said, "Hey, hey, this is what you should have done since you want to come back to this house empty-handed. Why?" Now, looking back in retrospect, I guess what she was trying to make me see was to be street smart. She wanted me to be street smart, so I won't be
Yes.
taken for granted. But maybe the way she did it would not be the way that I would do it for my own son right now. But
Right.
that was the that was exactly what was available to her. The understanding she had, how she could go about it in that moment.
Wait,
So,
wait. But did you not realize the jerrycans you came with were not her jerrycans to begin with?
oh, she knew these jerrycans are not hers. All she wanted was results.
You just needed the
She was like,
results and kerosene. You went with one. You came
simple.
back with two.
Like with two, and both of them are not the ones because I clearly remember I went out with a yellow jerry can, and I came back with two jerry can. One was blue, the other one was black.
Oh my God.
So she actually knows that these jerry cans are not hers.
I'm sweating.
So
Yeah.
so
Wow.
she did that to me. So that's in that moment made me understand that, how will I put it now? I was fighting an uphill battle, and
Hmm.
I have no other choice than to get results. That was the
Wow.
understanding I got from that. I was fighting an
Th-
uphill battle because she wasn't too, as how like she wasn't financially buoyant. My parents were
mhm.
not financially buoyant, and she was like, I want to make you that by the time you grow, you're not going to be dependent on
On
people. You're
anyone.
going to
Yeah.
make things happen. And
Wow.
that's the story I, as in that's the point I picked from that, because that happened. This is a woman. This woman is amazing. This is a woman at 8 years old. I was 8 years old when she started sending me to the market.
Wow.
At eight
Wow.
years old, she will give me a, yeah, she will give me a list and say these are the list of things you're going to buy that we're going to cook for soup or stew or whatever food. She'll give me the list and give me the money and tell
Wow.
me go and buy. I was eight. I was
Wow.
8 years. Yes. And by the time I was 10, I was cooking for the entire house.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So
By the time,
When I come to Nigeria now, I think I'm coming to visit you, and because you can cook. Looks like you can
oh
just
yeah,
cook. Oh my God.
my my wife is enjoying. Sometimes my wife will just come in.
And
Hey,
see.
I'm not feeling good. Can you cook for me?
Hey.
And I'll be like, I know you're okay, but I'll cook.
And then you tell her you must thank my grandma for this one because that's the
Oh
men who
yes,
spoil
oh
egg.
yes,
Oh wow. Wow.
she did that.
Nana Amfu says your grandmother was the increase and multiply tab, not decrease. That's all. She said in
Yes,
that time, like
she was like,
you
no, no. She was like, no grandson of mine is going to be a fool. He is will be, as in he will get how to do things. He will get things done. Seriously,
wow.
I remember. I remember there was another time that I and her, my mother, and three of my siblings, we were traveling together,
Mhm,
and we entered the bus.
mhm.
We entered the bus, and my mother sat down, and somebody stepped on my mother's foot, because my mother is a very soft and calm woman, but
Oh.
my grandmother is the direct opposite. My grandmother was a warrior.
Mm, mm.
So someone stepped on my mom's foot, and my mom just looked at the person and smiled, didn't say a word. My grandmother slapped my mom
Oh, in the bus.
in the bus.
My
My
God.
grandmother slapped her and was like, "What is wrong with you? This person stepped on your foot and you have nothing to say." My grandmother fought the person on behalf of her daughter.
Oh my God, I love her. Oh
Uh,
no. Yeah. Oh my God. That is
Yeah. So
incredible.
she was a no nonsense person.
Wow. Oh, this internet and
She won't
Nigeria.
give you that chance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So my grandmother was a no nonsense person. You won't take her for granted, not at any point. So I remember such stories from my childhood being with her. And like I said, it taught me how to fend for myself. And one of the other stories that I actually so much love about her was one day I came back home. As in, before I went to school, I was in primary school then. I think I was in primary five.
Oh God.
Holy Trinity Primary School in Port Harcourt, Abbeywood. And before I went to school, I saw her cooking this sumptuous meal. So I was like, wow, Mama. She told me go to school. But when I came home, there was uh, a plate of that meal on the table. And I know she normally keeps a plate of food on the table for her husband, my grandfather. So I
Oh.
wasn't sure who this one was for. I
Mhm.
wasn't sure who it was for. So, and I was hungry. There was nothing else in the house. So I would go and pilfer the food a little, eat, and use spoon to arrange the food so everything would look equally. So, so if you look at it, you will not know from which side it was taken. It was reducing. I went again, pilfered a bit, arranged it, did it like three times. Then I had to go to the market because she sells at the market.
Oh my God. Okay.
So, so she also sells. She sells in the market. She sells yam in the market, and I had to then go and meet her in the market. So when I got to, I didn't finish the food, but when I got, I had eaten considerably a good amount. So I ran to the market, met her, and the first thing she asked me, "Did you see the food on the table?"
You said
I said, "I said yes, ma'am. What did you do to it?" I said nothing. She said, "Ah, you did not eat it. I kept the food for you." I was like, "What? You kept it for me? I'm going back." She said, "You're not going back to any house." So I was like, "Ah, why?" She said, "You would have asked your grandfather. I told your grandfather when you come back, tell Chika that the food on the table is his." And I did not ask, but I decided to offer the food. Now, from that, no, I guess okay, maybe I was the only person during their childhood who took meat from the pot. I did, but
I think we all have stories like that, but yours is
oh yeah,
hilarious because you began to arrange the food. You
oh
eat and
yes, you, you need an arrange because if my papa finds out you're the one who ate it, you're a goner.
oh my
you are you are a goner. But looking back at that, it made me to understand that we should always ask questions. So if I
God.
see my younger self today, I'll tell my younger self, ask questions, no matter what it is. Anybody
Oh,
around, ask questions. What's this about? And all that. So looking back at all the things I went through, the experiences I had,
wow.
they literally made me stronger. They literally made
Wait,
me
though, let
stronger.
me
And
ask you, did Mama not give you a beating for the arrangement of that food? Because that one is serious.
no, by the time she told me I shouldn't go back home. So when she came back and she saw the food, she now preferred the food. I had some strokes on the food. And then she warmed the food and gave me to eat.
Oh my God.
So
Wow.
she was a loving woman at her core, but
Wow.
I just guess her way of expressing her love was the issue.
Just so
She was a
cookie
loving woman.
funny. Wow.
Yeah,
Yo,
she was
you
a
made
loving
me
woman.
laugh a lot
She
this
comes from the
morning.
now.
Wow.
Let me get into the second part of my story. Like I said, my story starts with my grandma.
Mhm.
My story starts with my grandma, but it also continues with my mom. Now, like I said, my mom is a direct opposite of my grandma.
Mm.
Direct
Wow.
opposite in character, in mannerism, every way. My grandmom is a fighter. My mom is a lover and not a fighter.
She
And
just like it's okay. Peace and
it's
love. It's
okay.
okay. Don't worry about
And
it.
seriously, that's my mom. She's a cool, as in, my mom will take a chill pill on your trouble and she'll be
Oh,
okay.
wow.
She's a loving
Wow.
woman. So I lived when my grandmom passed on. I then moved to live with my elder brother. My grandmom, she died at a very old and ripe age. It was a celebration of life. She died at 103.
What?
Yeah,
Oh my
103.
God. God bless her. That is
Yes.
incredible. Ah, you have long life in your blood. That's just it. You see how today I'm just speaking like a Nigerian. Ah, Jesus.
So in my family, that's it. My mom is still alive. My dad is still alive. My dad is 80. My dad is 87 years old.
Amen.
Yeah, my
Wow.
mom is 81. My mom is 81. My mom became 81 April 11th this year. My dad is 87, and it's
That
amazing. I remember. So long life just flows with my
just
family
is
down
like
the
a
shore.
family. Oh, let me come in Ghana, they say, let me use my cloth to tie onto yours. I don't know if you guys have that saying in Nigeria. I'm going to use my cloth to tie to yours so that I can get some of what you have. So, yeah, long
Yes,
life.
yes, we do.
Incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, seriously.
Okay, so
She
let's
was
hear
an
about you.
amazing one. Okay, now, so my mom, I went to live with my elder brother after my
Mm,
grandmom passed on, and that was where things became, how will I put it, things got a little bit worse than they were. My elder brother got married to someone who wasn't as loving as my grand. My grandmom was just 10. That's it. But this lady just wanted me out of her life, out of
oh,
her husband's life, because in that time, my elder brother was kind of the breadwinner of the family. My mom had retired, my dad had retired. So my elder
mm,
brother was the one sending cash to
every,
my everybody, my siblings, my parents, and all that. And as at then, I think we had about two persons in the university, and things wasn't things weren't so rosy. So the lady was like, "Nah, you won't be here to eat my husband's money." And he said, "I'm like, your husband is my blood. Calm down.
exactly,
Nobody's dragging this thing."
brother.
And
Wow.
someone came into the house. We went to church, and someone came into the house, broke in, and stole things in the house. And
Hey,
and the yeah, and the lady then accused that it's actually me and my friends that did that. Hey, I can see Kemi on the conversation.
I know. Good morning, Kemi, who was the
And
definite orchestrator of this particular. Kemi is the convener of this particular storytelling session. Kemi, good morning to you, my dear. Definitely online producer today. Thank you again. Yes. Wow.
yeah, so my my brother's wife accused me that, listen, um, I believe you're the one responsible for this. I believe you're friends or whatever. And I told her I have no idea. Tried, said everything up and down. And I remember then they stole a camera for a camera. My brother had this digital camera. That was when digital cameras with memory
Just yeah.
cards started coming out and all that. A CD Walkman and some other things. So I was like, no, not me. And the lady kept pushing. I was going to write my JSSCE then,
Mm, mm.
and the lady was like, listen, immediately you finish this your JSSCE, you're leaving my house. You're not coming back. And my brother concurred. I actually don't blame my brother. I have actually support
You
his
might
decision to just
mm,
no, but I think he did the right thing in order for
mm.
his home to survive. He supported
Yes.
his wife, but I guess what he would have done was to kind of trust me a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Mm-hmm.
I felt he should have done, but which he didn't do. So then after my GSSC, my mom came back. My mom came to take. I was brokenhearted. I was crying on the bus. I've lived all my life in Port Harcourt. Now I'm being sent to Omaha. That's the capital of the Abia state. I mean, St. Omar had to go and leave. And for me, Omar felt like a village. Then, an interior village. It wasn't as urbanized as Port Harcourt City. So I
Wow.
felt so bad. I was crying. And there was something my mom kept telling me. My mom held my hand and she told me, listen, it will be fine. We may not know what's ahead, but you will be fine. You will turn out fine. She kept comforting me. Now, for me, looking at how my grandmother raised me with an iron fist,
Mm.
in that moment, that's exactly what I needed. Because if
Wow.
someone else with an iron fist had come close to me, then I would have been vengeful and angry and all that.
Mm.
So
Mm.
my mom kept telling me, "You will be fine. You will do well.
Oh.
Don't look at the situation right now. Just have faith." And she kept telling me that. And in as much as right then I didn't understand, and I was so
You were
much in
young.
pain,
Mhm.
and I was so much in pains that I didn't even want to listen. Somehow her voice brought some level of sooth into me.
Mm. Mm.
It brought some level of as a sooth into me, and I came back. I then met all my siblings that were on that side, and that was where my love for music then began.
Oh
Because
my
then
God.
yes, everybody in my
Ima-
family can sing. Believe it, I'm not the
Woo!
best singer in my family. They
No
can sing.
way.
And
Wow.
that pain drove me to songs. So I get lost in the place of singing, get lost in the place of worship, and that was how I really came to find God for myself. As I came to find God for myself, and somehow I look back at that situation. I'm like, what if that didn't happen?
Mm. Mm. Wow.
If that did
Wow.
not happen,
Mm.
I asked myself, what if that did not happen? Will I be where I am today? Will I come to love God? Will I come to as in be in worship and all that? So I look at it and I'm like, yeah, what my mom said actually came to pass. You'll be fine. Everything will work out. She was speaking prophetically, but I didn't know. To
Yes,
me, I
but
was like, what's this person?
you're taking me to the village. You're telling me to be fine. My friend, please. We're not
My
here for
sister,
that.
as in, you're taking me from the city, taking me to the village. Right? That was how I I just fell in love with music, and then anything I couldn't talk with anybody, I just put the emotions into the song I'm going to sing, and yeah,
Wow.
put the emotions in the song, and the changes started happening. I remember the first time I went, I ministered somewhere, and I called my mom. I told my mom, "Dad, I've been invited to go and sing that song so place." She laughed. She said, "Go ahead, you do well." And immediately I finished singing, and I came back. I called on the phone. I said, "Yes, I did well." She said, "I told you now. You do it. You do well."
Oh my God. I want to hug your mom. Like just that is just that's Bible. You will do well.
No, for
Imagine
real. For now,
parents saying that to their kid every day. You will do well.
do well.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
she didn't need to quote any scripture for me from the Bible. She just that alone was what did it.
Mm. Wow.
That alone was what just got it down for me and made me understand. Yeah, things
So
work out.
Chika,
So right now, my mom.
you know I'm going to ask you to sing, right? Just so you know. I'm gonna ask you. I mean, you can't just throw that out there like, yeah, this is how I got to know how to sing. And then I'm not gonna ask you
Yeah.
to do it a cappella. So just put that at the back of your mind as you're telling stories that you will sing at some point today, even if it's for like 1 minute. So anyway, uh-oh.
Okay, no problem. All right. Hello, am I here? I'm right here.
Yes, you're
Okay.
here now.
Let me
Yes,
bring us
yes.
to my last. Okay. Let me bring us to
Mm-hmm.
my last story for today.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you read in my bio, my short bio, that I read French. I have a
Yes.
Bachelor of Arts in French.
So you speak
So
fluent French, right? Uh-oh. I think I lost Chika again. This is where the journalists start doing, can you hear me? Can you hear me? And they do that. Chika, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
There
I
you
can hear
go.
you.
Mhm.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. You're
Yes, yes,
strobing, but we're
yes.
going to keep
Okay.
marching. Yes, we're going to keep marching.
Okay. All right. So
Hmm.
I remember, well, while in the university. Okay, before I got into the university, I wrote down here that there is a kind of an exam you write before getting to university. It has nothing to do with the aptitude test the university will offer you, but that's the exam you write. It's called the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Exam,
Hmm.
or otherwise known as a JAM.
Hmm.
JAM. Every Nigerian knows what JAM is, because we have a saying: "If JAM never jam you," because so many people have failed. If you don't write that exam, you're not going. You're not getting into any higher institution, any college or university,
Hmm.
and that has messed a lot of people up.
Oh, wow.
So uh, I wrote I wrote that exam,
Hmm.
and my first sitting. There are persons who have written that exam 5 times, as in five and multiple times, and they still didn't get it to get into any university. And my first sitting, I got the required score I needed,
Wow.
and not just yeah, I got the required score, and then after getting the required score, I got the admission letter from my university. It was amazing. I
Mm.
ran home. I ran home to tell my father, and I showed it to him, and he was so excited. And all of a sudden, he became sad and moody
Oh,
because at that point now, I'll be the fourth child in the university.
oh my God. Mm. Mm.
How's he going to pay? Who is going to sell to? As in, he was excited that one as in got the admission, but
Mm.
now the excitement has turned into some level of pain, in the sense that how am I going to pay for his education and all that? But I told him, "Oh, I'll make it.
Mm.
I'll make it," which was a combination of the doggedness that my grandmother
Your
instilled
grandmother,
in me,
you. Mm.
right? So, which happens to be a combination of the doggedness my grandmother instilled in me, the and the faith that my mom also imparted to me. So I told him I'll make it. And then I was then working as a house help, someone, amazing
Really?
man, Deacon Femi James is his name, Deacon Femi James, amazing man. He's of the Yoruba extract, and he was, he's someone I love with all of my being.
Wow. Oh, the story got good and the internet decided to misbehave. But I mean, before we get Chika back, I wanted to say that the African spirit is so, so powerful. I mean, look at this young man. Most of us Africans have gone through this kind of thing where we lived with our parents for a few years in our formative years or just when we were born, and then we're taken off to go live with our grandparents, and then we have all these experiences with our grandfather or our grandma, something. And then by the time you're an adult, you see a well-roundedness that just on some level, I want to say I think most Africans are very lucky. And I think that Chika is back. So let's see where he is. There you go. Hi. Chika, can you hear us?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry for that. My
I
network
know
messed up. So
this
yes,
is an
yes, yes, I
African
can.
problem. We do it the same way.
Can. All
We
right.
go through
So
this when we are in Ghana. It's ridiculous.
can you hear me? Can you?
You're breaking still, but yeah, I don't know if you can still hear me though. Well, I guess we asked God for 45 minutes. All right, God, can you add another 15 to 30 minutes for us? Let the internet work out. Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
There you
But
go. See,
so
the moment I said that, you heard me. Let's go.
all right. So the combination of the two, as in the two women, the two mothers in my life, my grandmom and my mom,
Mhm.
it really, as in both of them helped me. Their combination is like a tag team that I needed. I met this man, like I was saying, Deacon Femi James, and I was working as a house help in his house. And one of the things he asked me was, say, I thought you said you wrote JAM. I said, yes, sir. You got the admission? Yes, sir. This year, yes, sir. Then what's happening? Why have you not? I said, though, I don't have the money to pay the acceptance fee. And I was like, what? Just the acceptance fee, how much? I told him 18,000 naira. He gave me the money.
Wow.
He gave me the money, then asked me, when you get the acceptance fee, get the list of the prospectus, let's know how much school fees and everything. That man, as a house help in his house, as a
Oh my.
handyman, he paid my first year school fees, every bit of it.
Oh
Everything I
God.
needed to pay for that first year, he's paid it. He paid
Oh
it.
my God.
Now,
Wow.
now after my first year, he was transferred. So I couldn't go with him anymore. But then I started working. I found someone, a friend of mine, who had this, he still has a photo studio. And he said he needed someone to manage the photo studio for him.
Mm.
I knew nothing about photography and I opted. I told him, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it.
Thank you. Yes.
And
Wow.
I jumped into it and started working for him. He had photographers. I was managing the people. I'll send out people, go to those place, go to this place. I'll go out market, and he was paying me on commission.
Mm.
And I worked for him, learned the trade, then learned some other skills from him. As I was
Wow.
doing that, I was making my hustle, and that was how I paid my second year school fees, my third year school fees. I went to minister somewhere, and they gave me a check, two checks actually. The checks, both of one of the checks was exactly what I needed to pay my school fees with.
Oh
Then
my
the
God.
that was how I just found my way through school paid. So my father then it got to a point he was like, other children will go to school and they will come back. At a certain point, they will come back and ask for money, but you left her, you have not returned back. This is how many years? Are you sure you're in school? And I
Oh,
told him,
that's
I told him that. I was like, sir, I'm in school. And when I eventually then had to travel to Togo for my 1 year IT, we call it the language immersion. You have to go to a French speaking country, either in Africa or anywhere else. I
mm,
went to Togo. I was at a university or University de Lome, University of Lome.
mhm.
I studied there for 1 year and all that. Came back to Nigeria, finished, then went
Wow.
for youth service. When I went for youth service and came back, I then brought my certificate, my NYSC discharge certificate. I believe they also do something similar to that in Ghana, but it's by choice. but in Nigeria it's compulsory,
Mm-hmm.
except you take exemption.
Mm-hmm.
They'll give you a certificate of exemption, but most places, professionals or government offices will not employ you without that either the
Yes.
certificate of exemption and all that. So I came back and I showed it to him, and I showed him the testimonial from my university that I went through. My father was like, "So you actually went to school?" And
Oh my God.
and
Wow.
ever since then, true as in those two women are the foundation for which God did the things He has done in my life.
Mm,
They are. Other
mm,
opportunities have shown up, other places have come, but it still boils down to the basic things I've learned. So
mm.
if there's any advice I'll give my younger self right now is don't panic. Everything will be all right.
You're right. And don't mix the rice. Don't
Yes,
steal the and dress.
not arrange it.
That was very, very creative, by the way. Some of us did not think to do that. And we got the beatings of our lives, but you know, but
But that's it.
that is so incredible. My goodness. I think today has
Thank
been
you.
a mini anthology and an ode to your grandmother and to your mom, and it's
Yeah.
just an ode to almost every African mother you can think about out there.
Mhm.
They come in different forms and different shades. These are
Yeah.
African mothers, and I like how you started the story. You said they did their best with what they had at the
True.
time.
True.
And
Yes. Yes.
best that they had, now I'm very, very nostalgic for it because, I mean, Chika, just think about it. One time I was on a plane and there was a guy sitting next to me, and he's, a Nigerian man. And I said, we started to talk, and I said, where are you coming from? Because it was a layover flight, right? Hopefully you can hear me because I see that you're frozen. But it was a layover flight, guys. And I said to the man, where are you from? He says, Nigeria. Where are you coming
Mhm.
from going to Nigeria? He says, I'm coming from Greece. And I said, what are you doing in Greece? Like, what do
Agree.
you in Greece? You're Nigerian. What are you doing in Greece? He says, oh no, there's a lot of us in
We're
Greece.
everywhere. We're
Yes,
everywhere. There is a saying. There is a saying that anywhere you go to, and there is no Nigerian there, run for your life. That place is not productive. That
it's
place is scary.
not. Yes,
That in because a Nigerian will see something good in a place that even the indigenous there will be like, what's here? And the Nigerian will come there and make something out of it. But if there's no
yes,
Nigerian there, run.
run. But the funny part of the story, or the inspirational part of the story, was when I asked him, what do you do in Nigeria? I joke you not, with the most serious face, he says to me, I sell CDs.
Yeah, yeah,
You sell what? In where? He's like, yeah, I sell CDs in Greece. And the way the man was dressed and like going, because the plane was gonna go to, I think, Mutala Airport, and then after that go to Ghana, which they normally do. The international
yeah,
flight
yeah.
drop
Like,
off people either in Ghana or Lome and then go. So he was actually going home as a very well made man.
man, who sells CDs?
It sells CDs in Greece. But it's the can-do spirit of the Nigerian, and really that extends to the African. There is nothing you can put in front of an African that we cannot
Yeah,
really do well, because of
yeah.
the spirit of resilience that has been built in us, the things we've gone through. When I think
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Hurricane Katrina, or one of the hurricanes in New York, and everybody was panicking. Oh my God, there is no light. Oh, this Ghana girl, me, I was just chill. Like I think maybe your mother's voice was in my head. Everything will be. My friends, those who were born here, oh my
Mhm.
God, we don't have microwave for food. And I had my little gas little thing. I'm just trying to turn and
Mhm.
start to heat my food. Oh, there's not hot water to take a shower. I said, you people, you're even lucky you have water. You're making noise about
Yeah, asking for hot water.
I know. It was the easiest. And I remember my dad calling, just to check on you because it was all over the news. It was a very bad devastation. People had lost things. And then what first thing he said was, "Oh, I know you'll be okay because, when they put you on the desert, you'll be fine." But that tells
Mhm.
the African spirit. And thank you for sharing these stories. It's the Sadi says, I admire that can-do spirit of Nigerians so much. But
Thank you. Thank you.
Chika has just opened the door to it. Nigerians were not brought up by, I'm sorry, I gotta use the word, they were not brought up by chicken mothers, and grandmothers.
Nah.
I feel like you have so many stories you can just get in and be like, you don't even know. Because that Jerry Khan story, though, I'm like, this woman, though, that's not even your Jerry Khan. You're just, it's good you brought it. You brought two. This is good. Okay, what we need, we have. That's all that matters. She did not care where you got it
I
from.
brought two.
You brought two. You brought two. Thank you for sharing. Yes, and Auntie Doris says Ghana, but resilience is our middle name. But I would like to extend that to just Africans anywhere in the world.
Yeah,
There's this thing that allows
Africans.
you to grab things and just run with it,
Mhm.
and it doesn't matter where you are on African soil, you're still somehow doing something. That's just incredible. Thank you so much for sharing these stories. Just
Thank
you've
you. Thank you,
yeah,
my friend.
taken us back today, like just so back, and I just laughed so much. But so for those of you watching, I see all of you guys. Thank you for joining us. I haven't had time to even say hello and mention you guys by name like we normally would do. But Nana Amfo, I see you. Of course, I said something to Brandon of 2911, Auntie Doris, Kemi. Let's see, Mola Matefevi. I'm always trying to mention your name. Why do you do this to me? There's so many of you here. Some of you are silent, but that's okay. At least you're still listening, right? We're going to do a poll like we always do, right? Anyone who wants to hear Chika sing, I just need 3 people to give me a thumbs up, and then Chika is going to sing, right? If we get 3 thumbs up, Chika is gonna sing. Auntie Doris says, "Eagle mothers do not beget chickens." That's what I'm saying. Yes,
Yes.
eagle mothers do not beget chickens. Because can I tell you, to my younger self happened because of an eagle mother. I'm not, no lie.
Mhm.
Our mothers are the
Mhm.
best you can ever have in the world. You know, does that include Africans by way of the Caribbean? Listen, Sharon, yes. Have you met a Jamaican mother
Yes.
before?
Uh-uh. Very. As far as you're African on African soil or in diaspora or a descent of Africa, it includes you.
Yes.
It includes you.
What you concern you? Have you met Jamaicans? Now say these women do
Mm.
not play. They do not play. So, okay. The votes are coming in. All right. Well, to my younger self, you don't count because you are us. You can't give us 3 thumbs up. Okay,
It's
here
okay.
is
I'll still
one.
sing all the way.
I
Anyway.
know. Seti has a thumbs up. Nana has a thumbs up. Doris has a thumbs up. In fact, she went for 5 thumbs up. Seti says Jamaicans are Ghanaian. So don't play. In fact, I think Jamaicans are more Nigerian than Ghanaian. discussion. I think that Nigerians are like Chika's grandma, and Ghanaians are like his mother. You know,
Mm.
we are the type, yeah, it's okay, give it to God, it will be all right. It's okay, give it to God. And Nigerians, man, they are like, nah, no, go
Mm-mm.
get that Jerry. I don't care where you get it. Find one and bring it home. Bring five,
Bring
even.
it home.
She said, I don't bring ourselves. I know. So, Chika, it looks like the vote is overwhelming. You have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I asked for only
Wow.
3 times. You have 12. So it looks like you're going to have to sing. You just have to sing. So I'm waiting.
All right.
We're all waiting.
Okay. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. You see, God will do what He says He will do. He will stand by His word. It will come through. God will do what He says He will do. He will stand by His word. It will come true. No weapons formed against you shall prosper. It will work. It will work. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's go to church now. Let's all go to church now. Wow, thank you. I mean, you lifted something off of me. You don't even know it. But thank you. And I'm sure that everyone that's watching got a lifting. I am glad that you found your calling because of
Thank
adversity.
you.
You know, because
Yeah.
if you hadn't moved from
Yes.
Port Harcourt to go into what state again was that, Chika?
Abia State. Abia State.
Yes, if you hadn't gone to Abia State, perhaps you would not have found your purpose. And I think for
True.
me, and even for you, you would tell your younger self, and I would tell my younger self, embrace the adversity sometimes, because that's where
Yeah.
pure is, right? That's where pure gold
Yeah.
is. A lot
Thank
of
you.
people are saying thank you to you today. Sharon Baker says that was awesome. They're clapping for you. Um, just a lot of clapping. In fact, someone sent me a message right now saying, "Who is that?" Well, maybe you cannot type in the comments, but this is Chika Ize. He is a worship leader, and I'm going to pull up the bio a little bit just so I can tell you guys that came in a little late who he is. And that way you kind of know where to go find him. And Chika,
Hello, can you hear me? Um, I'm actually going to be in Accra. I'm actually going to be in Accra next month.
wow, what will you be
Yeah, I'm
doing?
going to
Tell
be in.
us, tell us.
I'll be singing. I'll be singing. I'll be in Accra from the 29th of October to the 5th of November. I'll be at
Where will
the
you
Logos.
be?
Come again. I didn't get
Where
that.
will you be? Where in Accra would you be?
Okay. I'll be at the Logos Rema Foundation.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll be there from the 29th of October to the 5th of November. But 7 days
Oh my.
stretch. I'll be there singing. So everyone in Ghana, please, if you can come. I'll have to meet you.
Oh my God. And when you go, for those of you in Ghana, when you go and you go and meet him, just say, "Hey, I saw you tell stories on To My Younger Self."
Yes, please. I'd like to take pictures with you guys. Meet up. Let's talk.
and tell him about the Jerican story. But for those of you who were asking, like, oh my God, he's so incredible. Who is this? He is Chika Ize. Sir, he serves as the worship and missions pastor with Insight Bible Church located in Akwa Ibom State in the south part of Nigeria. And he's been doing this since April of 2013. And he is, just get this, he is the last of 7 children. In fact, Chika, you would be the second family I know that has 7 children. I think that maybe I am surrounded with abundance now. I have 14, I have 7 and 7 completely complete, but so look him up on all social media. Chika, tell us what your social media handles are.
On Twitter, on Threads, on TikTok, on Instagram, just look for Chika Worship. Twitter, Thread, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Look for Chika Worship.
Chika Worship.
That's
okay,
all.
so it's CHIKA Worship, and you will
Yeah,
just
one
see
word.
one word.
One word.
One,
Yeah.
one word. Wow. And look, Mama Doris seems to know that. She says, logo Pastor Abu Zoe. I think she's trying to say, she says, Delta is open, double reservation. You'll buy now and I'll pay later. You're buying me a plane ticket. Okay, sir. I'm going. It looks like I'm going to Nigeria. It looks like I'm going to Ghana for to go meet Chika and Pastor Abu. Thank you so much, Auntie Doris. It looks like I'm calling you for a plane ticket. Period. Yeah. But guys, it has been such an incredible time hanging with you. We're gonna read a few things off of our cue card because we gotta. Right, we gotta get some bills paid. I'd like to say a very, very big thank you to our monthly, those of you who have been very consistent ever since we started. You've been sending us your love gifts. Since you know this is something we do, this is a labor of love. Everyone that's on the team does not get paid for anything. We all do it because we want Africa to tell stories and good stories. So those of you who have been donating, Auntie Jane, Fiorito, Auntie B, Auntie Doris, Auntie Araba, To My Younger Self has so many aunties and uncles. We have our biggest supporter and donor, Opulence Realty Group. We want to say thank you to you for your incredible, incredible support. They are licensed and based in North Carolina, but they work with outfits all over the world. And there is a phone number right here, Mr. Emmanuel Deku. I call him Uncle EKD. Incredible man. Chika, he is your deacon who helped you to go to school. That's who he is. We just want to say thank you. And so for those of you who have real estate needs in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Canada, in America, anywhere in the world, really, just reach out to Opulence Real Estate Group and you will not be disappointed. Incredible group of integrity-based people doing good work for Africa and of course for the kingdom of God in the area of real estate. Okay, so we just wanted to say thank you for that. We're always telling you people, those of you who come here to just hear stories, that after you hear the stories and you're carrying them in your heart and you hear the lessons in there, please go back and invest in Africa, even if it's buying one tin of, I don't know, chin chin that was made in Nigeria, for example. Do it because somebody else is being paid in Nigeria and monies are getting into the pockets of a Nigerian who is paying someone's school fees. Do you see how that works? So please put your heart, put your heart in and your money in Africa. And by so doing, we're always telling you to please, please, please patronize Book Nook. Our brother, big brother Nanara Damo and Kofi Akpabli, they are doing incredible publishing work in Ghana. Kunda Kids, that's by a Nigerian and a Ugandan. They're doing incredible things in publishing for kids and African stories. Of course, you want to, okay, producer, I am sorry. I think I lost my cue card. Okay, there we go. Music for Your Quality Feed by Uncle Coffee Show. Where Ghana by Irabna and her team. Kua Designs by Ruby Boa. M. Sims by Mabel Simpson. All of these out of Ghana. Of course, Ryle by Design. She is in New York, but she is a Kenyan designer. Avonzige Bridal by Avonzige Augustina. Humanity Chats going on every Thursday evening by Margie Marge. And Margie Marge just came out with a book. Of course, Keys and Credo by Nana Sapon. Horseman Shoes, Kelm Beads, Caveman Watches, Masterpiece, and their Fit in USA initiative for anyone who is African. It does actually anywhere in the world. As long as you go into a different country as an immigrant, everything changes. And Masterpiece is here to help you assimilate into your new culture, especially in the United States. There's so many more African outfits who would like for you to patronize. So please put your money where your heart is. Okay. We want to say thank you. Thank you. Now, the big news is that Zoe, myself, Heyo, and my sister author, Abba Keto Anda, we went out and we did an incredible thing. We wrote a book. Is somebody saying something? Did I hear a pin drop? Did I hear a pin drop? Yes, we wrote a book. Incredible news. And we're launching October 14th. The book is coming out. But right now, it's also on Amazon for pre-orders. And we're going to put the link on here. I don't know if our communications person is here, but we're going to put the link here so you guys can have it. And what we've done is we've brought together incredible Ghanaians from all over the world, and they have written letters of hope to their younger selves. And the stories in there are mind-blowing. Some of these people, when you see where they are now, it's like listening to Chika. You see where Chika is now, and you hear that he had a story about jerry cans. You hear he had a story like being in the car and crying and saying, oh my God, you're taking me to the village, and seeing how they have overcome adversity and become resilient. You have nothing else to do but to be inspired. And that's what we went out and did, Abakito, Anda, and I. And it took us a little over a year and a half to do this. It's been incredibly tiring journey, but very rewarding. You do want to get on the, I mean, it's our show, so I can talk a little longer, about our book. You know what I mean? But yes, it's called Letters of Hope to My Younger Self. It will be my first book and Abba's second book. And we just hope that you like it and that you patronize it and that you buy them for your alma maters, right? Buy like 10, 20, 50, buy 100 of them for your alma maters, because there's a lot of young people coming up who need to hear these stories. They need to hear it. They need to hear it. Can you imagine if Chika had a book like this way back in the day? What I mean? So I'm going to jump off my soapbox now, but be prepared from now all the way through. I will be talking about Letters of Hope to My Younger Self every single week, just so you know. Chika, I want to say thank you for your, dedication. You came, you understood the assignment, and you delivered more than 110%. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I am
Thank you for the privilege. I'm glad to be here.
Oh man, I think if we could just keep talking for hours if we had the time. But people have to go to work and monies need to be made and all that. But what would be the last thing you would like to leave with everyone before we sign off?
This is what I like to tell everyone. It doesn't matter where you are right now. What matters is what you see ahead of you.
Mm.
It does not matter where you are right now. What you see ahead of you is what matters. And believe you me, before you have a road paved out of. It may not
Wow.
seem like it right now, but you will walk on it. And then
Mm.
you see. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank
Thank you. What a powerful word. You heard it first here. Chika said it. It doesn't matter where you are, just keep going. You'll get there. If you see it, you'll get there. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, my name is Zoe Baraka. The show has been To My Younger Self. We've been sharing stories and hearing stories by Mr. Chika Ize. And we will see you next week with our roving storytelling with Nweki. So do not miss it, okay? We'll see you soon. I love you. Chika loves you. And have a wonderful week. Bye.
Bye.
Kaja Israel, Kaja Egypt, Kaja Ethiopia, Kaja Sudan, Kaja Shong. Kaja Igushima, you know, Wani me kona me Kaja Shong. So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know, Kaja Shong. Kaja Kaja Shong. Manchester, no Sumanguru, you know, walk where Jackie, what you're showing. What's that to do, you know,